Jackie Robinson was one of the first Negroes to be on the Negro League on the Dodgers team. And he was born in 1919 and died in 1972.
I really liked it. The play was very fantastic.
It was the most fun experience I've had in quite a while.
Well, I think I learned on this field trip is that no matter what, don't give up on your dreams because they can come true.
My favorite part was how Jackie Robinson handled the segregation of black and white without fighting, like using a fist or a weapon. Like he just contained his temper, and somehow he destroyed the color barrier.
My favorite part would be whenever Joey learns that lesson from Jackie Robinson, not using violence. And I think Jackie Robinson got the non-violence from Cesar Chavez, and then Cesar Chavez got it from Gandhi, and then Martin Luther King got it from Jackie Robinson.
High school teacher, a high school dean of instruction, an elementary school principal. I was director of math here in Dallas in the DISD. I worked for the State Department of Education, TEA, ran a program of 92 schools that was sort of a precursor to the charter school movement. And then I've worked in the charter movement for about 15 years. I've seen kids just light up coming to the theater. Students that were withdrawn, students that didn't participate, leaned in, became engaged, got excited, and then after it was over, asked questions. Even they saw themselves. I had students ask, can I do that? Well, how do they get chosen to do that? How do they get to be a part of that? That's what you want. You want students asking questions and wanting more. You know, wouldn't it be great if they were leaving classrooms asking questions and wanting more? So anytime we get that, that's a hook. You can connect something to that, and that's what you want.
I have been teaching for 21 years, so I have pretty much brought children out to the theater about 10 of those years. We try to do it every year.
I believe this would be 100% of the students had never experienced anything live. A few had mentioned puppet shows that they had seen, but nothing like live theater. We had a really great study guide that was provided, and we went over that, had some deep discussions about just how certain things that they've experienced at school. We have a 99% Hispanic population, and we're getting more and more African American students. And so we had a great discussion of just who you are and where you come from, and how sometimes things can get a little tough. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with something new? So those discussions were perfect. And then we just went over the study guide, and naturally conversations were ignited.
We are teaching and preparing the 21st century learner, so it goes way beyond just sitting and learning things from a textbook as we have done in previous years. It's good for them to get authentic experiences and actually have a visual for what it might have been like during that time period. You know, in reading we talk about story, plot, and characters, and setting, and they're actually going to get to see that and experience that today. We've also talked about different kind of genres, so we talked about how this is a biography in a sense because it's talking about the life of Jackie Robinson, so they get to experience it firsthand through this play.
When I talk to employers about what would you like to see in our students, our products, when we send them out to you to work, you know, the response I get is that you have students who can follow the rules, you have students who can take tests well, but I need people who can think, I need people who are creative, I need people who can take situations that they've never seen and they can work their ways through them. I need students who can be a part of the future. And I think that's what Dallas Children's Theater and the arts programs do for our community. They help children learn and grow and think. They help children expand the mind. It helps all of us get out of our little box.
I feel like for us, especially in our community where our school is, it's good for them to see something come to life that they've learned about in school. So here and there we'll have a lesson or a conversation about how things used to be. And so for them to come here and make that connection and see it live, I feel like is much more engaging, and they have a better connection than they did previously just reading about it or hearing about it.
Adele Turner is a Title I school, and that means that a lot of our children, without these opportunities afforded to us, may not experience this on their own. So we are very grateful that we have this opportunity to come out and expose them to different types of experiences. So thank you so much, PCT.
What do you want for your child that lives in your home? Don't you want a well-rounded experience for your child? The same thing we give to our children who live in our biological children who live in our homes is what I want for all the students. And I know personally, he's a young man now, I took my son to the theater. I bring my grandchildren to the theater. And so I just want to be mom and grandmom to all of the children. And I want them all to come to the theater. And I want them to learn and grow. And I want them to have a rich experience. I want them to be creative. I want them to dream and see things come to life. And that's what we do here.
My experience was dramatic. It was emotional because at the end, I was learning a lot more than I learned when I did my history project on Jackie Robinson. So it was some other stuff I didn't really know about him.
It was really cool to see a live show.
I really liked the play, and it was really historical and really cool.
Don't judge anyone by their color.
There's a wonderful quote that I love from Diane Ravitch, who is a former Secretary of Education. And she said that sometimes the most brilliant minds don't perform well on standardized tests because they don't have standardized minds.